Las Vegas Discount.net's the best there is. Save up to 50% on your next Vegas trip. And travel, rental, shows, and tours. Find the deals you're looking for. Las Vegas Discount.net. Las Vegas Discount.net. If you're going to Vegas for deals that are the best, visit Las Vegas Discount.net.
Are you a real estate agent, realtor, investor, or are you in the real estate business and you need new listings and deals? We have a solution for you, and that solution has guaranteed results. How much would you pay to get face-to-face with a homeowner that wants to sell their home? What if you also got their email address and daytime phone number? And what if this homeowner also scheduled you to come to their door at a set time to meet with you? Sound too good to be true? It isn't. And it is 100% guaranteed for you to meet face-to-face with a real homeowner who really needs to sell their home. Not only will you get this remarkable contact system and its 100% guarantee, at no additional charge, you will get weekly coaching, documents, and training on how to get that homeowner and convert them into a new listing. When you purchase, you'll also get a one-on-one walkthrough so that you can start using the system today. Visit www.thelistingmonster.com. That's www.thelistingmonster.com. Or call Diana Ortiz at 213-706-0040. Stop wasting time the old way. Use a monster and get actual results today.
At least that's the theory, to try to keep it all in a straight line. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the webinar. My name is Lee Honish. For those of you who don't know me, I have been in real estate and banking for the last 30 years. I started in 1988 as an asset manager for Beneficial of California. 93, I went on to go work at GMAC Homecomings. Then right after that, I got my real estate license, and I was just like all of you. I was a door-knocking, mailing realtor. Hardcore, nose to the grindstone, knock on 100 doors kind of guy. And I found it a lot easier to build houses than it was to knock on front doors. That was me personally. I don't know about the rest of you. You might have better experience. Shortly thereafter, I went to work at IndyMac Bank. Most people know me because I am the former head loss mitigator for IndyMac Bank's HELOC division. In English, that translates to I'm the guy everybody hates about short sales. But I did teach a lot of real estate agents how to do it from the year 2007 to 2010 all over the country for a company called Short Sale Genius. But then I started to focus on marketing and building businesses. It is one of my passions. Marketing and business is my passion. I love talking about marketing. I love doing marketing. But more importantly, I like doing it in my own business, and I like sharing it with others. In 2010, I created something called Monster Marketing. It is my invention. I created it. I've never seen it anywhere else. I wanted to get face-to-face with listings without door-knocking, cold calling, and mailers. And because I specialize in one particular niche, I have specialized in pre-foreclosure properties for the last 30 years. It has provided very well for me. It has been a constant over the last 10 years. It has been at higher points. Currently, we are at about a 4% default rate. What does that mean in English? At 31 days at 5 p.m., you are 30 days late and you are in default with the bank until you pay it current or till you cure it, technically is the correct terminology. You are in default. What happens in the world of home ownership is when people miss their third payment, they tend not to pay again. 8 out of 10 people, after they miss 3 full payments, never make another payment again. Today, I'm going to show you how to meet those people. I'm going to show you how to get face-to-face. I'm going to show you how to market to them. I'm going to show you what to say to them. I've written books on the topic. Let's get going, shall we? Today, we've got about a 45-minute webinar for you from this point forward. I'm going to talk about the current market, how I see the market, the direction of 2018. Then I'm going to talk about current marketing. What's everybody else doing? I pretty much know, but I like talking about it. How to find leads, how to create a list, right? We're going to talk about once we get onto the niche of pre-foreclosure, we need to create a client list. That's what we call it. Those are people who are severely delinquent. Next, we're going to talk about how to market to them, right? Specifically, how to monster market to them and go out, put up physical marketing that will generate a response. And then how to convert. Simple as that. So let's talk about the market first and foremost. If you hear me stop and take a drink, I apologize. My throat gets dry. Let's start with the market. The market 2.0. We're in the next bubble cycle. That should actually be 2018. I don't know why it says 2.0. It doesn't really make sense. So is a bubble going to arise? All right, for any of you on the call, first real item that we need for a bubble to arise is double-digit appreciation. We do have that in select markets. That is the first sign. The second sign of a bubble is usually about the 10-year anniversary of the previous bubble. It is a historical fact. Every 10 years in real estate, it corrects itself. Well, we are in the 10th year. The last correction happened in 2008. We are now in 2018, for those of you keeping count, which means we are kind of on a zero clock, as they say, which means at some point from now and in the short future, the market will generally correct itself by a percentage. That means the value of property will go down. What else do we need to look for? The new tax law. Yeah, that's going to have an impact on pricing on anything over $500,000 or $750,000, depending on who you talk to. For those of us in California, it will have the greatest impact because we do have higher median priced homes. They're expecting a percentage of depreciation in higher homes because of these new tax laws. Certainly, it might slow buying in some of the higher end cities. These would be bubble cities, by the way, San Francisco, San Jose, Cupertino, things like that. All right. What are the builders doing? They've got an emphasis on entry-level homes. They're not building high-end. So what accelerated 2006 and 2007 out of control, right? We had builders building houses, selling them for above fair market value, generating more value in the neighborhoods they were being built around, right? Well, they've kind of learned from their mistakes, and this time around, they're just building entry-level homes to work with millennials. Go figure. It's not going to have a huge impact on appreciating the value of properties this year. It actually means less inventory. So mortgage refinances will be down. The rates are going to increase. At some point, they are going to have to increase the interest rate, for those that don't know. Currently, we have more renters than buyers. Gee, I can't imagine why. It's because we have less owner-occupied. We are at the lowest point of owner-occupied home ownership that we've ever had in the history of real estate. This is a fact. We have more rental homes than we do owner-occupied homes. What does that really mean in English? Well, it means the Wall Street investors, for those of you who don't know, all got together, and they started buying up all the REOs. That's why none of you were able to get them as listings. They then took these REOs and started to convert them into rental properties. That is what happened to all of the inventory. We didn't lose inventory. There wasn't a sudden burst where everybody bought them up. No. People got foreclosed upon. They got bought up by Wall Street investment firms like Blackstone, and they were turned into rentals across the country. And they are now being held as a commodity. So I pose this question to all of you based on the data that I have provided. Would it seem logical? I pose this to you, Kim. I pose this to any of you on the call that actually know how to raise your hand or type in the question bar. Think about this. If you hold a commodity like gold or silver, or for this point, real estate, would it not seem logical that if you have a depreciation in value of those properties for any reason, it would be logical to sell your portfolio at the top of the market. Does that seem logical? Kim, was that logical? There's a reason I point all this out to all of you. Once they start to sell, they will all sell. And that will more than likely be the next turn of the market. I do not believe that it's going to be based on lower lending standards and people defaulting. I believe it's going to be in Wall Street firms liquidating and selling their portfolios. But I could be wrong. They could be in it for the long haul and we could be fine. What do I know? I do know that it means we have less sellers. I know that people are staying in their houses 3 to 5 years longer than they were in the previous years. So predictive data has gone out the window. I also know that we have less inventory because of all of these things. 2018 will be less inventory than it was in 2017. Our inventory is declining. It is on a steady downward spiral. It's a lot to take in and a lot for you guys to think about for this year. So let's compile that with what is the current marketing? What are other realtors and investors doing, right? We have 1.4 million realtors listed, right? We have about 900,000 active listings at any given point in the country, okay? That means that the basic marketing that's being done out there is being done in massive amounts, right? Door knocking, cold calling, and mailers. If you want to stand out from the crowd, okay, the reason you're on this call, you want to learn about pre-foreclosure, you want to learn about doing marketing that makes you stand out from the crowd and makes you identify and be something different. Why? Because there are people out there spending way more money and way more manpower than you can ever invest into trying to get an expired listing. You are currently in a market that requires you to go after a niche. We'll talk about that in a minute. But understand, if you are a door knocking, cold caller, or a mailer person, this is going to be the worst year for it. And it's literally because of the amount of competition you have and the amount of budgets that are out there. The next problem you will have, 85% of buyers and sellers go online before they buy or sell. So online brokerages are now buying up click sources. That happened last summer. That's not going to change. And for those of you who missed the story that was about 2 or 3 weeks ago, this is my favorite story that's out there that's been swept under the rug. So I don't want anybody to be surprised when it actually goes down. Zillow's in talk to buy out realtor.com. Let that one sink in for a few minutes. That is horrible news. They already control most of the market. I mean, if there's at least diversity with Purple Bricks and, Redfin, at least there's diversity within the market. All right, let's talk about our low inventory and the impact that really has. I have had this happen to me, and I've had it to one of my coaching students. I coach approximately 1,000 students across the country. I've been doing it for the last 8 years consistently. And the one thing that seems to be coming up a lot are people are having their listing stolen. That means other realtors or investors sniffing in and trying to take deals away that are already actively listed and under contract with somebody else. So dot your I's and cross your T's. Just a little heads up from me. It will be the highest level of competition that any of you have ever seen. I've seen a few markets that were hyper competitive. When I got into the business in the mid 90s, I thought it was pretty hyper competitive as a realtor. It's why I built houses. I thought it was easier to build a house than it was to go and get a listing. So what I'm going to do for you guys today is actually talk about 3 steps to getting listings. I'm going to show you how to monster market. I'm going to show you why you should niche market. I'm going to show you why that niche should be pre-foreclosure. I'm going to keep it about as simple as I humanly can for all of you. I'm going to check in with all of you guys here. There's a button that will raise and lower your hand. Everybody with me? Besides Kim, who's checking in. Doug is. I've got one Doug. Nobody else is pushing buttons. There we go. Sandra, Doug, Gillies? Kessler? Did I get the name right? All right. I appreciate that. You guys are doing good. Alexander, you should push the button on principle, as should you, Keith. Did I see? Okay. There's a couple of old but goodie.